That's not me. That's a very old version of me. Hi, like Pushkar said, I do a lot of things, but broadly, you can check the QR code on the left, Linktree is here. You guys can read about whatever I've done till now. I don't have the clicker for some odd reason. I didn't take it, it's my bad. Thank you, Pushkar. All right. So yeah, I think, of course, I'm a part of Design Up, which means I've heard talks. Most often you go to talks where everybody says there's similar things, and it's an echo chamber. And design talks, design conferences are designed to be that way, because broadly we talk about everything starting from empathy to, so on and so forth. The idea is that I've been here for 30 odd years, been a long time. And I want to actually talk about 8 truth bombs, which are probably stuff that are pet peeves more than anything else. And the interesting thing is they are hypotheses. What is a hypothesis? Hypothesis is not backed by any data. That's fabulously good. I can say whatever I want to say, walk off. If you guys don't like me, don't follow me. So the idea is that. That's why it's a hypothesis, right? A supposition or a proposed explanation made on the basis of limited evidence as a starting point for further, is what basically it means. I'm just saying, hashtag. So the deal is that. Just tune yourself for that, and we'll actually try and have a good ride. The first one that I want to talk about is that I've been working with technology for about 25 odd years now, since 99 or so. And we are still lone rangers, right? We want to work alone. We don't know how to work with other teams. It's quite difficult. Today I heard so many things about actually, why are program managers, product managers, why are technologists so bad to us kind of stuff. But the truth is that it's like we hate, and the grand persistent hate for product managers, developers or the sales team. I work with sales team guys. I know how the hate works out. They come and tell me, listen, give me something to sell. That's not how design works. And that's the stuff that I want to talk about. But we should not forget the fact that, without viability on ROI that business brings into the table, without feasibility and performance, and without the usability and desirability that we bring in, there is no user experience. It's not just generally the product. In general, there is no experience. You cannot build a beautiful product that doesn't perform well or doesn't work at all. So I think it is important to kind of keep in mind that tech, design, and business have got to be a team. Design is the shape of intent, is what Jared Spool says. I love this definition because here he is talking about the user's intent. But I would actually say it's the collective intent of the 3 teams too, responding to the user intent in some way or the other. So it's one of the best possible ways I've actually heard design being explained as in single line. So one of the early projects that we worked on, tech took a front end in actually defining, this is 2013, content marketing has just come into play. I'm sitting in Ogilvy, and Ogilvy, Lenovo comes to Ogilvy and says, listen, we want to be in content marketing. Not that anybody knows what that is at that point of time. Red Bull is publishing $30 magazines by themselves. Everybody's talking about brand as a publisher. So they're saying that, can Lenovo design a magazine? Like, we don't know anything about anything, what magazine to design. But the smart thing that the analytics team did was to set up social listening posts. Today, people will laugh at me if I actually say we are setting up social listening posts. At that point of time, they set up social listening posts, looked at content in different ways in 3 areas, which is supposed to be the millennial passion points: music, gaming, and photography. So we took music, and the entire dictation of what needs to be there as content in it came from what we heard from social media and what kind of cued that. That was a start we got from the tech team. So if that wasn't there, we wouldn't have really made it. So it's a way I learned to respect working with technology more, and especially now that I'm a founder, I can't say otherwise. So yeah, right. So it's one goal that we need to actually look at. It's about going to market. I mean, you can call it users, you can call it people. Incidentally, only technology and drugs calls their customer users. It's a thing that I've got to put out there, But go to market again and go to market again is what you will be doing till you actually improve the stuff. And it's important that we look at it as a one goal of the team. But the unfortunate part is that we designers are gazing at our navels, right? We are actually happy with where we work. I am doing a banner today. I am doing one page, which is a landing page today. That's all we are bothered about. But we need to get a big picture. Everybody in this room working in any part of the place need to learn to get the big picture of sort. And how do we do it? Like, look at this picture. This is actually a picture shot by Voyager 1. Voyager 1 turned the camera as it actually was leaving the solar system and took a picture of our Mother Earth. This picture is called a pale blue dot. That dot that you see is supposed to be us. Carl Sagan puts it, I'm going to read this out. Carl Sagan put this beautifully. Look again at that dot. That's home. That's us. Every hero and coward, every creator and destroyer of civilizations, every king and peasant, every young couple in love, every mother and father, hopeful child, inventor and explorer, every teacher of morals, every corrupt politician, every superstar and every supreme leader, every saint and sinner in the history of our species live there on a mote of dust suspended in a sunbeam. What a beautiful way to say it. But what it teaches us is humility. You actually go zoom out and look at the stuff, it'll teach you a lot of humility. All the problems that you have had with the sugar in the coffee this morning is about that much. But we need to actually zoom out of where we perform. Number one thing that you need to understand, business is a brand. A brand is an experience. Now, it's easy to say that a business always wants to accomplish 4 boxes of items that we could be participating in. I really do not know whether we do. The first thing that we should be participating in user acquisition. We probably do very well. I mean, call it user, customer, people, whatever you want to call, but that's first. It's about being aware of the brand, getting people to be aware of the brand, and make them consider actually using or working with that brand. So largely it's about brand marketing, communication, sales enablement. We could be working there. What does design do there? The second piece that we are talking about is experience. We all know what this means. Hopefully, we all know what this means. Conversion, how does we do the experience? How do they leave fulfilled? How do the users leave fulfilled? It's about product service definition, customer experience, user experience, service design. Are we the fullest in operating here? Are we doing the fullest possible thing in operating here? Third piece is user retention. We are not even here, but it's important that we are. Now that I'm a founder, I know this problem because people are constantly questioning, how do you keep them? I mean, they love and leave, but we want them to love and stay, right? That's the problem that we got to face, and how do we work there? And the last one is advocacy. How do we build communities of users that can actually make people talk to each other and talk to other new users so that they can be advocates? This is something that we should be bothered about. So if I actually paint our cosmos, it is that. It is everything from product, brand strategy broken into electronic media and digital, offline. This is that big, and we are a mote of dust suspended in the sunbeam somewhere here. So it's something that we got to keep in mind. If you've got to actually know the humility and understand the bigness of where you operate and be relevant, it's important to know that you're operating somewhere in this space. One of the work that we did recently for Laundrymate, we tried to do it. I'm not saying we did it, but I did the entire brand definition. We started identity, palette, typography, defined the rules of sort, moved to actually doing the type iconography. How does the onboarding work, navigation, process fulfillment? You guys would have seen plenty of stuff like that. I don't want to walk you through a case study. But broadly, that's the story. And even extending out of it, offline. How can we actually extend it offline to do everything that it does, right? Then we come to one more such stuff, which is called the bridge is broken. All that stuff can be done only with good inspiration. We are supposed to be constantly inspired with 3 things. art, literature, and music, because we can connect the conceptual to the tactical very well. We take an idea that is abstract and convert it into something tangible, something that is usable, something that is useful. Do we really do that, or have we broken that bridge? Like, I love Paul Klee. I've always been impressed by Paul Klee, Elif Shafak, Buckminster Fuller, Jamini Roy. I'm just throwing names because these are people who inspired me. Fellini's movies, Ray, Gabriel Garcia Marquez, still a Bible for me, 100 Years of Solitude. I read it because that man taught me how to think, right? Cassandre, coming closer to graphic design, E.M. Cassandre's work. Tamil movie posters, still a big thing that, I love it still. This is Dadaist typography, and the last one is constructivism. I was so besotted with constructivism at one point of time that when a pub I had some money in it also, but when a pub started in Bangalore and they wanted a whole bunch of stuff done, I said, workers go back home after a hard day, and what can they drink? And can we use constructivism to throw this stuff open and kind of decide? I didn't succeed. It kind of looks dated, but still, it's some inspiration, some departure. It doesn't look like the normal thing that one would do. At least it didn't look at that point of time. So we are gifted to bridge the tactical and the conceptual with great ease. Be that bridge. Be that bridge, and to be that bridge, you've got to collect dots, and they will connect themselves at one point of time. Let's go to the next one. The present is quite tense. There is no money. That's from Bain & Company. VCs are not doing investments anymore. The biggest hirer of UX bunch used to be startups. There are no startups no more. No startups who have money no more. It's going to take some time for them to kind of come around. So I think the most important stuff is that startups will not hire. Enterprise need width and depth, so early people cannot get into that stuff. University placements, not good. There are friends of mine sitting from universities too who know the pain that they're going through. The last one is important, great time to upskill. I would only question that. Like, are you going to get better and better at Figma? Is that the deal? You got a side skill. Important to side skill. I think I was right here when MP Ranjan talked about the T-shaped designer, which is about having a certain amount of generalization and one deep depth. But I would say that things are moving to a V-shaped designer, which is gracefully specializing, which essentially means that you can be a part of marketing and pre-sales, sales, operations, delivery, customer relationship, strategy, and business intelligence. Everybody who are designers, who are in research, who are in any kind of a design profession within the design group, have got to actually connect to the bottom line or the top line, whichever way it works. And the only way it works is to actually spread yourself across possible business functions where you can work, you can help the company reach where it's got to reach. One more thing that we actually use for our product is that this is a typical growth path for a designer. You start out as a practitioner, become a collaborator, become a mentor, become a manager, become a strategist, and then hopefully a leader, and with a whole lot of grit, you will make it really good. But each of the stuff that is highlighted there are the possible soft skills that you need to be better at each one of them. Are you really good at these soft skills? How will you get better at it? And it's a good thing to kind of think about all these soft skills to kind of reach where you want to reach at some point of time. One bonus point to ponder. Somebody told me that they are doing sociology after finishing design. What a brilliant choice. I am trying to do something similar myself. I think behavioral studies are the ones which are going to go closer and closer, because probably that is the way we can differentiate humanity versus machine that we've been talking about a whole lot in the morning. So I think behavioral studies is something that we can actually think about. Number 5, we are colonized. We are a colony. We don't originate no more. We only adapt. The minute we say that I've got to actually do something, we say find similar, and then go to finding similar and try to actually adapt from there, rather than, it's not a great starting point. Not at all a great starting point. Avoiding instructions, if you're truly colonized, I think a lot of multinational companies know what the hell I'm talking about. If you're avoiding instructions, it does not make you grow in any possible way. So don't avoid instructions. But the thing that I want to talk to you about is this fabulous course that we had in the first year, which was formative, not that I realized it was formative, we did it because as a grunt work, called Space, Form, and Structure. I would actually call it Space, Structure, and Form, because that seems to be the possible progression that you can kind of think of. Because you actually, in a space, you create a structure and envelope a form on top of it. That's how I would think it will work. But the structure is something you can think of. It's the most underserved. You think about the structure, and the concepts will evolve, and the tactics will evolve out of it. And then you hopefully create originals, right? There are lots of frameworks that are available that will make it happen for you. Frameworks stay, forms evolve. I'll tell you what I mean by frameworks. Some of them that I use. Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Beautiful, fabulous framework to again use. I'm talking about designers. I mean, I know that researchers use it, probably senior staff use it, but I think it'll be great for every designer to kind of think about it. Maslow's hierarchy. 3-act structure. Narratives, beautiful for narratives. Context, conflict, resolution. How do you actually move through these 3-act stuff? It's great. Capfera's brand identity prism. I won't talk too much about it. You guys can Google it. It's very simple to Google this stuff. But it's important to have these in your arsenal, because only from here can you build concepts that are intelligent, and out of that, tactics that are intelligent, right? So originate. Please do not adapt. Design ed is dated. I'm going to make a lot of enemies today. But yeah, design education is dated like hell. I mean, I think there are few reasons why design ed is dated, right? Practitioners must teach and teachers should practice. That doesn't happen. Why should practitioners teach? Practitioners should teach because they should articulate what they do. If they articulate what they do, hopefully they will do it better and better and better. So whatever they do in their cubicle, they bring it out, throw it in front of a bunch of people, and say, this is what I did. You'll probably find the loopholes in it and correct it next time you try to do the same thing. That is important. The second thing is teachers have got to do it because they've got to validate what they believe in and what they talk about to the students. The reason being, otherwise it's vaporware. All you're doing is just doing vaporware and walking off. The context of the market and the receptiveness of everything else, including user acceptance, is nil. You don't even know whether it's really working or not. That's because it'll actually give them a compelling context to work within, so that they can actually narrate stories that are right, narrate stories from the market. Things become much more anecdotal. So that's great. The whole problem is communication design curriculum. It's as old as me. Actually, the curriculum in communication design. Around the 68 or the 70s is when the curriculum design for communication thing was. After that, a whole bunch of changes have happened, but the curriculum hasn't changed. I would look at it this way. I don't want to leave you with that stuff saying that, oh, this is what I think. I'll probably suggest something. Look at it from extending from elements to components to patterns to templates to assets to brand and to market. Strategy can come from this side, design can come from that side. Hopefully there's a beautiful meeting point. And that's something that's got to be taught, because that defines context better than actually context-less doing stuff. Of course, there is a whole bunch of skills, concepts, tactics, how do you think, how do you do, all that is built into it. But the larger formation of stuff should be, in my opinion, like this. Like I said, it's my opinion. No data is there behind it. The number 7, design is going to be a commodity. Design is going to be a catalyst. And we've got to accept that. When actually a few of us designers in the early 90s, we got to using the Pentium. Hemant is here. He knows what I'm talking about. 286, 386, 486, all that stuff. First time Ventura Publisher, PageMaker, all that stuff came up. And we thought that was the end of it all, because CorelDRAW could stretch fonts. So everybody was stretching fonts, happily, right? And nightmare, it was a nightmare. But then I think now the technology is being introduced in a beautiful way. My wife, incidentally, works in the, she's a designer too, she works in the craft and artisanal sector. She actually works with artisans who are empowered phenomenally with Canva. They're all using Canva to actually market their own stuff. They are doing it themselves. And Canva Create, with the AI embedded, it's doing a brilliant job of the stuff. It's actually helping them put all the stuff out. That's them, and that's Asia, Mubashira, and Inshada. They are the ones who are working from Kutch, from Kashmir. They are putting out stuff everywhere. And the other, whatever he's working on will work beautifully for them too. They are the ones who should be using it because it's completely self-service, DIY. It's a brilliant way to kind of help that. The last one, but not the least one, it's the worst of the best peeves, right? Future is a friend. We've got to accept that. We've been hearing things about future for a while, but future is a friend. We've got to learn to embrace it. Let's deal with the elephant in the room, Gen AI. Generative AI, we've talked to death about generative AI today. But I'm going to actually walk you guys through what happened to me with Gen AI. I've got to walk from left to right. Just follow me. First, I was standing here, which is thinking standard ops will not accept the grunt. Right? It's going on. Then I move, and a mild state of awe. I look at this AI and says, damn, this is good. Is this it? And then there is a fear-infused cynicism. Where's the emotion? What is human about this? That's the state I was in. Raw fear and gingerly trial. YouTube Zindabad, went to YouTube, tried out a bunch of prompts, saw that something works, something doesn't, and kind of took it on further to think there is a false sense of achievement. I have mastered Gen AI. That's where you kind of stand. Prompts to write poetry about my cats or pointlessly futuristic auto rickshaws. What is this fascination with the auto rickshaws? Anyway, so that is there. And then there is extreme pride, right? Like excruciating amount of stuff that is shared on the internet, in the social media. You just throw any damn thing that you have created with, you haven't created anything, but you throw it, right? And that's the stuff. Images on social media often moves towards self-portrait. That's the end of it. That means you have hit failure. You have the precipice after that, right? That's self-portraits and futuristic scapes and Marvel style and all that. You do self-portraits. And then you come to acceptance and find less than 5 peaceful places that you can actually use it. But unfortunately, they're not shareable. They're actually sane things, right? Then you go down to boredom and familiarity. Then you go back to work. But you're using some AI in the meantime. This is how mine was. I'm sure most of us went through the same damn thing. But actually, I took a bunch of non-critical items to test out my so-called mastery in AI. I wanted to do non-critical so that I don't harm anyone. So I did a whole bunch of theater posters, which I'll share with you. But one thing that I realized is generative AI will thrive, and we will be a part of it for a long time. It's a great starting point. It's got to be immersed with a workflow, and it's brilliant. It's augmented intelligence. I don't call it artificial intelligence. The reason being that you and AI works better. It's like me and AI works better than just AI alone. I've seen some samples of atrocious work. I've said that before, that using AI. And for some odd reason, people are proud about it too. Great at automating or integrating in a workflow, which we should try and integrate all the tools in a workflow in a parallel line. It's bad as a standalone individual contributor, and so we should be kind of conscious about that fact with Gen AI alone. So I actually started working on theater posters, which I work for Rangashankara. I'm one of the creative directors at Rangashankara. This is Midjourney 3.0. Actually, even earlier than 3.0. So you can actually see the definition and how it changes. This is all 3.0. That kind of goes up to 4.0. That's probably is 4.0 still, right? And then it goes up to a level where you can't see where AI stops and where my design starts. So it's kind of integrated very well. This one is completely non-AI, right? But I actually had a starting point of actually visualizing matchboxes with that stuff, but I didn't use it at all. Like, that's actually DALL-E. All this stuff that you see is all from, including the stuff that I've actually used as the partitions. These are all from 6.0, which is absolutely ravishingly brilliant if you know how to use it, right? There is a stuff that I learned beyond Gen AI at one point of time. 2.5 years back, my brother who lives in Dallas kind of came and said, like, can we actually start thinking, he's a data science person. It's important that you know that. He's a data science guy. I've got no clue. So actually, he taught me stuff that is outside of Gen AI. He actually talked about interfaces that shows intelligence. How can we actually show visible intelligence? Like right now, it's just chatbot and one prompt box. How can you actually show visible intelligence that changes? How can you show that it's predictive? How can you show it's proactive? How can you show that it's preemptive in many ways, right? And that's something that we've been working on for a long time. We are working on 2 products. One of the products that we work on is called as Mira Mira. Mira Mira is a product that's supposed to help. We actually ditched this project halfway. You can take a look at the website. We want to get back to it, but it actually helps kids find out what they want to do in their career when they are leaving school, right? So it actually helps them answer a whole bunch of, the questions are built as you answer. You go next, 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 you answer it, it matches to, uses LLM to kind of bring into the stuff, and NLP matches the stuff, does a great matching of between vocations and specifically your soft skills and your aptitude that you have. Aptitude is working on the Ikigai and behavioral economics concept. We actually patented, the first thing that we did was patented it. And this is one of the products that we've been working on. This is the old UI that you can see if you go to the website. This is the new UI, which we built, but don't have the money to actually do it because we moved into a new product, which is something that is actually making some money. This is a B2B product, runs on the same platform, helps companies acquire, engage, and retain talent. So that's basically it. So if there are people applying for a job in your company, you can put them through this, and hopefully you will see what their soft skills are and their aptitude are, and it can actually use a parser to pass the CV and actually take that data in too. So that's something that it does. These are all, I'm not going to walk you through each one of the stuff. This is just eye candy. Right, and we also extended it to every possible conversations. Incidentally, all these things are done out of course, Midjourney 5.0 and so on, right? All these things are done out of that. So this is a thing that I've been working on till now, and that is it. I want to walk you through all the stuff again very, very quickly. We are lone rangers. We've got to learn how to work together. We are gazing at our neighbors. We've got to see the big picture. The bridge is broken. The only way to do it is collect the dots. They will connect themselves. The present is tense. We've got to side skill, not necessarily upskill. We are a colony. Break the colony. Kind of be independent. Design education is dated. Teachers should practice. Practitioners should teach. Commodity and a catalyst. Design is going to exist as both, and it's got to be inclusive too. Future is a friend. Learn to embrace it. Thank you. By the way, important stuff. Just give me a second. Hold your applause. Yeah, just give me a second. Actually, I'm also a part of Design Up. It's important for me to tell you that this coupon code can give you about 23% off on the tickets. You can actually see it is on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th of October. If you guys want to actually use this coupon code, feel free. If you forget this coupon code, take a picture at least. You can send it to somebody else if you don't want it. Sheraton Grand in Bangalore on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th of October, and that's what the stuff is all about. You're all welcome. It'll be fun to have you all there. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Dan. Yeah.